Can coconut oil really raise your grades, your ACT, or your SAT score? That's what I want to talk about today. Now, recently I was watching a video about coconut oil, and what I found very interesting is there were a number of people who claimed with coconut oil that they were able to reduce brain fog. Now, I want you to think about this. Anytime that you're about to take a test, whether it's SAT, ACT, a classroom test, or perhaps you're an adult who's watching this video and you're about to take a real estate licensing test. Who knows what kind of test you might be taking? If you take the coconut oil before you take the test, it does something very unique. Now, I have to say at this point, not knowing who's watching this video, I want to make clear I'm not giving medical advice here. I'm just sharing information that you can use or not use. Do your own due diligence. Now that that's said, if you go ahead and you take coconut oil does something that is very unique. It has something in it that are called ketones. And what ketones do is they're an alternative fuel to glucose for the brain to keep the brain active. Now you think about it, if you're going to take a test like a SAT, which is basically a 4-hour test, or the ACT, which is basically a 3.5-hour test, certainly if you're an older student and you're about to take a licensing exam, that certainly is very time consuming. And what will typically happen in the course of the exam is that you will find that you start getting a brain fog. And the reason for this is a lot of people aren't aware, but the brain actually uses up the most glucose, the most blood sugar out of the entire organ, out of all your organs in your body. Your brain uses up a lot of energy. So as you're in an intense testing situation and your energy is decreasing, it's also creating some of that brain fog that's hard to break through. So if instead of taking having a cup of coffee, which basically raises up your blood sugar temporarily, the caffeine being released, that might be good if you had a half an hour or at the most an hour test. But over a longer test, you want something that's going to help sustain that mental energy. Now, I can't know personally how the coconut oil is going to work for you. This is merely a suggestion that you need to research and try out for yourself. I can tell you from my own personal testimony that I found that it was very interesting, the results of taking the coconut oil, where I found that some of the brain fog from intense studying, intense tutoring that I'm very active in, it helped to relieve a lot of that. I highly encourage you to consider some of these simple things, and inexpensive too. This is a organic brand, and I'm not mentioning brands, not going to recommend them in particular. But this is an organic brand that I picked up at the cheapest possible place that I knew locally, and we're talking roughly $6 or $7. Just think what a difference it could make if every time you knew that you had a test coming up, in addition to the standardized tests like SAT and ACT, if you took just a little coconut oil. So let's talk just a couple particulars on coconut oil. Here's one thing to consider on coconut oil, is when you first look at it, it looks like the old-fashioned, very unhealthy Crisco type of form, but it's not. It becomes liquid at 77 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's not hard for it to get liquid. You could put it on, thinking of good meals, you might cook your eggs in it. If you're going to have eggs on the day, the SAT or ACT, you could put on your oatmeal. There's some people who just put a spoonful in a coffee cup and microwave it. Over a period of time, you're going to find enhanced clarity, and all these other things. This is what's been reported: enhanced clarity, brain fog being lifted up, and considering the cost and considering the effort involved for these tests, don't you really owe it to yourself to research any possible way that you can lift off that brain fog and get the most out of the test that you're taking? I appreciate you listening today. This is Darryl Hold with affordable-tutor.com, tutorpro88@gmail.com, and I look forward to answering any questions you may have. Have a great day.